So, hard to say it, but we're wrong. We've been in the business for 12 years or more when we found out that the water we were selling to thousands of people and the reasons we told them that it was good, not true. Very embarrassing, but good, because it explained many things. It explained the reason that people got wonderful effects from the water from our electronic water ionizers and then didn't. It explained the technology of the water that we're getting, and explained many of the myths that we had accepted. And I have to say that it's when you're in business, you really like good news, and you run with good news. You don't like bad news, for obvious reasons, because you think the good news is going to keep your business going. So the good news for us was there's alkaline water, microclustered water, negative ion water, and I've seen many people in the industry really struggle with the fact that none of that was the reason that the water was good for people. The fact was that the electronic water ionizers, and now our UltraStream as well to a greater extent, produce molecular hydrogen. They infuse molecular hydrogen. That's two atoms of hydrogen locked together as a molecule, the smallest molecule in the universe, and it's that atom in the tiniest amount that has the health effects that people are reporting to us. You know, we researched alkalinity hugely. We discovered a meta-study of 100 different studies on the type of water people were drinking all around the world. And there's one in Finland particularly where they went to 100,000 death certificates, and they correlated what people died of with where they lived. And then they discovered, of course, that they were dying less and of better reasons in places where they had hard water or water with a lot of calcium in it. Taiwan, England, lots and lots of places all over the globe correlated the same results, that drinking alkaline water is better for you. So I'm not saying that drinking alkaline water is bad, but I am saying that the health effects that we witnessed were way beyond the sort of health effects that this meta-study said. You know, it's fairly obvious that if you drink alkaline water, you're drinking water which is closer to the water which surrounds every cell in your body. You don't have pure water in your body, and you never had pure water in history. So, you know, even a caveman didn't drink pure water. He drank water from a stream or a spring, which was mineralised. So we have evolved to expect and work with that water. But however, we had a young guy in Boise, Idaho. He was a lecturer at the university in Boise, Idaho. He bought an electronic ionizer from a multi-level marketing company. And they told him alkalizing, microclustering, negative ions, blah, blah, blah. This is why it's so good. And he took it to his professors and they laughed him out of the room. That young guy was called Tyler LeBaron, and we became good friends. And we actually met him recently in Brisbane when he was going around the world talking about molecular hydrogen. And with our help, he set up the Molecular Hydrogen Institute. What happened was he got so mad at being rebuffed and told he was a dill by his professors that he started studying places that no one else had studied. And he's a biochemist, right? So he looked in places us mere mortals probably didn't look. And he found that in Japan, where water ionizers came from, they had already moved on. They had moved on from the whole idea of alkaline water and microclustered water and negative ion water, and they already realised that the key was in the little tiny hydrogen molecule. They gathered together and had conferences about it. They had a solid industry of people manufacturing products to create molecular hydrogen. And there were studies. In 2007, there was only one study that the American Science Establishment allowed, and it was by the Japanese on the potential therapeutic benefits of molecular hydrogen. 2007, one study. Today, 450. So, you know, the science is as good as it gets. Now, the authorities would say it's not as good as it gets because it's not thousands of people done in a double-blind placebo study. True, it's not. Most of the studies are in vitro or animal studies. There are a few human studies which are all good, but it's not at the point where you can put a big sign up and say this cures cancer, right? Funnily enough, there are a number of cancer studies, and there are studies on 150 different disease groups. So we have just stopped talking about alkalinity. Yes, alkaline water. Drink some alkaline water. It's good, right? We've stopped talking about microclustering because, as Tyler pointed out, there's no evidence whatsoever of microclustering, and there's no evidence of any benefit from microclustering. We've stopped talking about negative ions because there's no evidence that negative ions do anything for us. We're still talking about the water because now we know what makes the water really work.